Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. I hope the sun is shining for you here in Portland. It is sunny and it is so lovely. I can't wait, actually. I'm going to go outside a little bit and just enjoy the sun. But I wanted to speak about a message that I think is so important and imperative. And in the Jewish cycle, at least once a year, there is a particular time in the year, which is just now, that it comes up in the Bible. And I wanted to talk to you about that because it's a value that everybody, regardless of their religiosity, values and thinks it's important. Yet we all create that, I don't want to call it sin, but miss the mark. We miss the mark. And what do I mean? So last week I was going to synagogue. And for those who don't know or just join us, welcome. And we read a passage from the Bible. And every Monday I go and I participate in services and I lead services. And one of the things that I read last week, and it continued to this week, it's about evil speech. We call it lashon hara, which means really gossiping. Now, how did I hear about that in the Bible? Okay, we all know about it, but in the Bible, it was a little bit interesting how it showed up. It first talked about a circumcision, and it literally, the first couple of verses were about circumcision, and then it slided right into the words that we say. I was wondering, what is the connection? So I looked at it through the Hebrew lens, which is always so helpful. In Hebrew, circumcision is brit milah, which means the covenant of our word. That's circumcision. Now, let's think about it as far as it's connecting to gossip. What is the covenant? What is the promise of our words? How do we measure our words to either elevate us or brings us down? Do we guard what comes out of our mouths? In this Torah portion, it's a double portion, so it continues to this week. In the Bible, there is actually an external manifestation when someone gossips. They get leprosy, which is not really a good translation of the condition, because leprosy is more of a medical condition, and the biblical version of leprosy is more because of spiritual contamination, i.e., our words that we say. So, and it shows that it tells us that a person who gossips, who does lashon hara, which literally translates to the evil tongue, i.e., we don't follow the covenant of the word. What happened to them? They get leprosy either in their skin, in their hair, in their clothes, in their walls of their home. So what do? They don't go to the doctor, which you would think if this was a medical condition. They instead go to a spiritual leader, okay? Like a priest. And the priest removes that person, that individual from the camp for some time, and then brings them back and check if the leprosy is gone. And then if it's in their house, they take out the stone that is infected and replace it with a clean stone. And I was thinking about almost like a paradigm shift, because I always, when in the years that I've read it, I always thought, oh my gosh, how shameful that is. Like, right, if you see somebody and they have leprosy and you know that it's connected to not a medical condition, but it's connected to their, gossiping, you feel bad for them. You feel like you don't want to come near them. And if it's you, you feel shame, right? You feel guilty. You feel, oh my God, they caught me. I'm gossiping. That's not okay. So what about, and that thought came to me this week, what about if we literally put a paradigm shift onto our thoughts and perception about having that external sign? Imagine if we gossip, when we gossip, not if, when we gossip, because I don't know about you, but sometimes, not as much recently, but I'm guilty of gossiping. I'm guilty of saying lashon hara, evil speech about somebody else. Most of us do, to a different extent, right? Some more, some less, but most of us do. So what about if every time somebody would talk, they will get, a little itch on their thigh, something in their arm, something that not everybody sees, but they see. Almost like an alert, like, oh, Dorice, you did that, you said that, it's not okay, stop it. Imagine if we had that, like a warning. It reminds us to come back to the path, to the right way of saying things, of addressing our words, of having a covenant with our word and valuing what we say. So this thought came to me over the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to share it with you and invite you to have a covenant with your word. Have a promise that your word is used to elevate somebody and not to bring them down. That your word come out of discernment and not out of judgment. That your words that are measured come out of your mouth with the idea, with the feeling, with the energy of love, rather the feeling of dissatisfaction or fear or hate or comparison with other people. That's what, number one, I wish for you to think about this weekend or this week that comes up. And maybe number two is use the covenant of your word to uplift not only yourself, but the people around you. So it's one about what to do less, but also what to do more and how you can bring more goodness into the world and continue to evolve and become yourself the best version that you have, that you can be. And thus, as I always say, live up and find your champion within. I know you can do this. We're all on this journey together. And I can't wait to listen to your stories, feedback, email back. So feel free to share this video or this podcast with anybody else that you think will be beneficial for them to hear it and to see it. And I'm looking forward to connecting with you next time. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. And don't forget, be the champion that I know you are. Bye, everybody.